In this lesson, I'm going to be showing you how to build a finance student resume. Whether you're a sophomore, junior, senior, this is going to work for you as long as you are in college. This is going to be a resume template that you can use. Now, in terms of the format, you can change that. And this resume is going to be 2 pages long. This is because I've added all the potential things you can add onto your resume. But one tip I'm going to give you is if you are a college student, your resume should always be 1 page long because you do not have enough real life experience to have 2 pages. Even industry professionals do not have 2 page resumes. So always make sure that your resume is 1 page because most of the time the person that's reading your resume is not going to go to the second page. They just want to look at 1 page and go to the next resume. So make sure that your resume is always 1 page long. Now let me go ahead and share what I have with you guys. This is also going to be available for download so you guys can follow along. You can edit this. Let's go ahead and let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, as you can see here, this is the template here, right? Now you can change the format of this into any format that you want, but these are the things you're gonna need on a resume, okay? Now, the first thing is going to be your name on the top. Obviously, you want to make sure that your name is big right here on the top, right? So let's just go ahead and increase the size of this here, actually. So let's make it a little bigger. You want to make sure that your name is visible. Now, you also want to have your contact information, right? Because you want them to be able to contact you if they like, your resume. So you want to provide your phone number for easy contact. You want to provide your email if they want to send details. And you also want to provide your LinkedIn if they want to see what you look like and some of your other, professional involvements or some of the things you've done in college that you've added to your LinkedIn profile. You might have projects that you've worked on in college. And I've seen people that actually add their projects on their LinkedIn profile, and employers will just go to your LinkedIn and they will see those. Okay, you don't have to add those on your resume. So that's one of the things you could do if you have a lot of things you want to add to your resume, but you still want it to be 1 page. You can add those things in your LinkedIn, and if they like what they see, they can go to your LinkedIn and they'll find those additional things. Now, next thing here is not really necessary, but if you feel like you need to add this, an objective, I recommend it for people that have never had internships before, right? So you can add a quick objective here, which is gonna be, some of the things that that you are good at, right? If you're, you can say you're highly motivated and detail-oriented finance student seeking a challenging position in finance industry, and this is for when you are applying for jobs, right? Sometimes you might want to remove this, right? But if you feel that you need to add an objective, it's really good. Now, if you're uploading this resume to your LinkedIn, you can even make this your LinkedIn description, right? If you're a finance student that's looking for internships. Now, the next thing you want to add is obviously going to be education because you are in college. Education is your most important thing that you have, right? You want to add that first because as soon as they see that you're a college student, they want to see your education, okay? So that's what you always want to have first. If you're in college, education. Now, if you've graduated like me, my education is actually on the bottom of my resume. I have my actual work experience on the top of my resume because that is what I'm currently doing. So if you are in school, make sure that your education is the first thing they see. This is going to help, eliminate wasting each other's time. So they might be looking for someone who's already graduated, right? You might have accidentally applied to a job that's taking people that are graduating next year, but you graduate in 2 years. So that is going to eliminate all that time wasting. You don't want to go through an interview process. Like, so you're ready to start next year. You're like, oh, I actually graduated in 2 years. So you want to make sure that you have your education on top. And on your education, you're going to have, your name of your degree. You're going to have the name of the university. You're going to have your expected graduation year. This is what's going to help you eliminate that waste of time. You want to have your expected, you can, call it expected graduation and then put the year. Now, you also want to add some relevant coursework. Now, this is going to be dependent on the position you're applying to, right? So you can see this is pretty dynamic here. We have financial accounting, which all finance majors usually take, investments, corporate finance, financial modeling, risk management, and derivatives. Now, you can add the relevant coursework and you have to tailor this to the internship that you're applying for or job you're applying for. If it's a corporate finance position, add the corporate finance classes you took, right? That's going to add to your resume. Now, the next thing you want to have here is going to be your internship experience. If you've had internships in college, that's what you want to add right next year. You might have had one internship, maybe two, maybe three. Add all of those here. So as you can see, I have the company name, position, and the days that you worked at the internship. And you want to have maybe 4 bullet points here, nothing too crazy. You don't want to add 10 different bullet points. Just add 4 to 5 bullet points. Make it a full sentence, okay? Add some of the things you've done. As you can see, we use keywords like assisted, conducted, collaborated, developed. Okay, those are the words you want to use in your resume here. Now, same thing here on the second, internship experience. Here, I start with assisted, analyzed, conducted, contributed. So these are action verbs, what I was actually doing, right? Now, after this, you also have your involvement on campus. Okay, so if you're in the finance club, I know when I was in college, I was in the investment club, I was in the entrepreneurs organization, I was in a business fraternity. So those are the things that I added to my resume. So you want to add, let me go back to the resume here so you guys can actually see what I'm looking at. Now you want to add what you were, if you're a member, president, if you were the VP of finance, if you're whatever you were in your organization, you want to add that. You want to add the name of the organization you're in. You want to add the dates that you were involved with that organization, and you want to add, relevant things here. So right here, you can see that participated in weekly meetings, workshops, guest speaker events related to finance industry trends. As you can see, this is all tailored to finance. Okay, if you are applying to a finance job, you need to tailor your resume to finance, right? So it would not make sense for you to add a cooking club that you were in on a finance application, right? It would make sense. That's something you'd add on your LinkedIn, so that if they like your finance experience, they'll go to your LinkedIn and they'll see, oh, this person's actually interested in cooking. That's just additional information. You want to put your best foot forward, right? Sometimes people will say, oh, you need to add those things because they might add a little personality, but you don't know what might happen. So you always want to put your best foot forward. And so now the next thing here, what we have here, we have, a little bit of description here of the club that I was in. I only added one club for this, but if you're in multiple clubs, follow the same format. Now, the next thing is going to be the skills that you have, right? So some of these things are going to be to fill out your resume, because sometimes when you're applying for your first internship, you don't have, the section here where I listed the internships, right? So you want to add skills to compensate for that space. You always want to get to one page, okay? As you can see here, I have all the skills. I have financial analysis, I have investment research and due diligence, data analysis and interpretation. So many things that you can add here. These are just examples that you can add. If these are applicable to you, go ahead and add those as well. Okay, now Microsoft Excel is always important. You always want to make sure you put that. If you're in finance, you have to know how to use Microsoft Excel. Now lastly, here we have achievements here. Okay, this is where you want to shine. Now, if you've been on the dean's list, you want to add that on there. If you had a scholarship, you want to add that on there. If you've done research, right, you want to add that on there. If you've received some type of recognition for something, you want to add that in there, right? That is what's going to help you here. So I have all these things here because most people aren't going to have 2 internships when they're applying for their first one. So you want to make sure that you fill out that page, right, that entire page. And you can do that by adding skills and achievements. They're going to take up the entire page. Now, if you've had internships here, you don't have to add as many skills as I have on here, because some of those skills are going to be shown in these bullet points that are underneath the internships, right? So like here, this is talking about preparing financial statements and reports. So this already assumes that you know how to do financial analysis and modeling. You know how to how to do financial statement analysis. It already accounts into that. So you want to add, if you've had internship experience, you want to add skills that aren't included in here. If it's included in here, don't add that over here, okay? Because that's just going to be repetitive. So that is pretty much it when it comes to how you can build a resume. So this is going to be available for download. You can use this as a guide. This is going to help you. These are the things you need. Now, keep in mind that once you graduate from college, your resume is going to look completely different. This is built for people that are in college, that are going to be applying to their first internship, second internship, maybe first job, after you finish college. This is going to help you. This is kind of like the format that you want to follow. Okay, now that is pretty much it for this lesson. I'll see you guys on the next one.